Hello students and welcome to IP Study Lecture videos. In this video, we are going to cover the chapter 1 of grade 7 part 1 and the name of the chapter is Large Numbers Around Us. First of all, let us see what are the different topics we are going to cover under this chapter. So we'll understand what different numbers we already know. Then we'll see a 10-digit, how we form a 10-digit numbers, and then we'll see how to read and write the numbers using Indian place value system. Then we'll understand the meaning of place value and face value of a digit in a number. Then we'll understand what is the international place value system and what is the relation between Indian and international place value system. And then we'll understand how to compare numbers, how to round off numbers, and how to estimate the sum or product of two numbers. So without wasting the time, let's start with the first topic, which is numbers we already know. So students, we know that some numbers which we'll see in our day-to-day life, like in counting population or in financial transaction, we come across various numbers which we already know how to read and write. These numbers are up to 9 digits, which we have already understood in our previous classes. So here we have smallest 8-digit number, as we have 1 crore as the smallest 8-digit number. Then we have 9 crore 99 lakh 99,999 as greatest 8-digit number. Then we have smallest 9-digit number as 10 crore, and the greatest 9-digit number will be 99 crore 99 lakh 99,999. Now, after these 8-9-digit numbers, we have to understand that how we can form a 10-digit number. So we know that when we add 1 to the greatest, let's suppose 8-digit number, so we'll get the smallest 9-digit numbers. Then if we add 1 to the greatest 9-digit number, we'll get the smallest 10-digit numbers. So in this way, if we keep adding, and if we reach the 10-digit number by adding 1 to the greatest 9-digit number, will reach to a new number which will have 10 digits, and this number will be called as 1 arab. So we'll see how to read and write numbers having 10 or more than 10 digits basically. So let's understand that how to read using Indian place value system. Later on, we'll understand how to read it using international place value system. But first of all, let us see using Indian place value system. So numbers can be read and written using this system. This system divides numbers into periods, and each periods have 3 or 2 place values. Like we have ones as 1 period, then thousands, then lakh, then crores, and then arabs. We have more than arabs also, but for now, as of now, for this grade, we'll understand till Arab only. So after Arab, it will be 10 Arab, which will be the part of this period only. So we can see that the right ones have 3 place values, but rest of them will have 2 place values. So in order to read and write numbers using Indian place value system, we put commas, and we put commas after each period. Like let's suppose if we have a number like this, which has digits 6, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8, 5, 9. Now it will be difficult to read it once if we don't know the how the Indian place value system works. So for that, we place commas according to the periods that we have in the Indian place value system. So here we start with the last 3 digits that we have, like 8, 5, 9, and we place comma over here. That is after 7 or before 8, we can say. Then after 2 digit, we'll have before 4, and then after that we will have before 2. So these commas divide the given number into different segments, and each segment belongs to the period of Indian place value system. Now in order to read it, I can see that this is from ones period, this is from our 1000 periods, this is from our lakhs period, and this is from the crores period. So we'll read it as 6 crore 23 lakh 47,859. So this is how we read a given number using Indian place value system. Now there is an example which says write 2 arab 34 crore 56 lakh 78,901 in figures. Figures means we have to write it using digits. So in order to write it, we have 2 arab. So 2 arab will be written when we have this. So this is 2 arab. Now next, if we move to the next part, we have 34 crore. So 34 will take this place. And then after that we have 56 lakh. So 56 lakh will take the period of lakhs. Then we have 78,000, so which will be written like this, 78,000. And then we have, after 78, we have 901. So 901 will be written like this. And the numbers will look like this: 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0, 1, which we can read it as 2 arab, 34 crore, 56 lakh, 78,901. So Indian place value system allow us or helps us to read and write numbers. Okay. Now moving to the next part, place value of a digit in a number. So what is a place value? Place value is the value a digit represents based on its position. Like let's suppose if we have this number. Now each digit has its place value. Like 4 is at thousands place. So its place value is 4000. So this chart demonstrates that how to write the place value of a digit for the given number. Like for 2, we have 2 tens, which will be 20. Then we have for 3 ones. Then we have for 100 as 800. For 4 at 1000 place, we have 4000. And similarly, for each digit in the number, we can have a unique place value. Here we have an example which says, write the place value of the colored digit in each of the following numbers. Now we consider, let's suppose B part, which we have 905619092. Now in order to know the place value of this colored digit 9, we have to check at which period and at which place we can find out 9 in our Indian place value system. So it is ones, tens, 100, 1000, 10,000, lakh, 10 lakh, crore, 10 crore. So it means the place value of 9 will be 90 crore. 9 multiplied by 10 crore, its place value. So it will be 90 crore. So this is how we tell the place value of a digit. Okay, now there is one more concept which is called face value, and face value is nothing but the digit itself. Like the face value of the digit 9 will be 9 only. Face value of this digit 6 will be 6 only. Understood? Now moving forward, expanded form of a number. So if we are given with a number, we can write its expanded form using the place values of each digit. We represent the number using the sum of the place value of each digit. Like if we have this ones, tens, 100, 1000, 10,000, lakh, 10 lakh, crore, 10 crore, arab. So this is 7 arab. After that we have 3 crore. Then we have 56 lakh. Then we have 89,204. Now in order to write the expanded form of this number, we have to write like this: 7 arab, then we have 3 crore, then we have 50 lakh, then we can write 6 as 6 lakh, then for 80,000, then 9,000, then 204. It means we have to write the place value of each digit and we have to represent them using the sum of each. Now moving forward, let's suppose if we have this question of the exercise 1.1, the population of a city is this much. Write this population in word. Word means we have to write like this 1 crore and all. Using the Indian place value system, also write its expanded form. Is the population a blessing or a burden for country? So let's do this question one by one. First of all, in order to write it in words, we need to separate it using commas. So if we have a number 8, 9, 273 451 80, we have comma over here, then here, then here, then here. So it will be 8 arab, 92 crore, 73 lakh, 45,180. This is the first part that we have done. Now its expanded form. Now you can use the place value of each digit to write its expanded form. Is population a blessing or burden for country? So it just depends on how we use the population of a country. If the population is educated, then it will be a blessing, otherwise it will be a burden. It's just depend upon the view of how you think. Moving to the next topic, different ways of expressing a number. So, we have already understood how to write the expanded form using the place value. Now, this place value can also help us to express a number into different forms. Like, we have a number 35,678. Now, we can express this number in different ways. Like, first is expressing 35 together with 1000, because we can see that after this we have 3 zeros that we can use, so 1000, then 6 with 100, 7 with 10 and 8 with 1. Or there can be one more method where we can write the expanded form, as we have already understood that writing the place value of each like this, we can write it in this form also. Or we can multiply the whole 3 digit together with 100, because this 3 numbers or the 3 digits together will form the hundreds place. So multiplied by 100 and then 78 is added like this. So we can write a number using different forms if we have the place values of each digit. Now, next topic is international place value system. Now, we know that in India, we generally use Indian place value system. But in America or in other part of the world, we have another number system that help us to read and write the given numbers. This is called International Place Value System or American Place Value System. In this, we separate the numbers like that we do in Indian Place Value System, but here we have much easier trick that we have to place the commas after every 3 digit from the right. Like, let's suppose if we have a number like this, then in order to write it into the international place value system, we have to separate them into 3 place value at once. So in international place value chart, we have the periods as ones, thousands, and instead of lakh, we have million, and then we have billion. So each periods have 3 place values. Now billions can also be extended like 10 billion or 100 billion, but for as of this class, we have to look up to billion only. So if we have 2 digit in billion, we'll read it as 12 billion or 13 billion depending upon what we have. Okay, so let's suppose if we want to write this number in international place value system. So for that, we'll start writing from the right part. 5, then 7, then 2, then 9, then 3, then 6, then 1, and then 4, and then 1. So if we want to present it using comma, we'll have 1, 4, 8, 1, 6, 3, 9, 2, 7, 5. Now commas will be placed like this, 3 after 3 and then after 3. So it will be 1,481,639,275. So each period is taken at once and its period is attached to the number like 639,000. Okay. Moving forward, let's see one example which says write the number this 963207410, quite a large number which we have to see that how we can read it out in words using international place value system. So in order to write it into words, we need to put commas first in order to see in which period they fall. Now the number is 963207410. Now we have to put commas after each 3 digit after this, and then we have these groups. Now this is for ones group, this is for thousand, and this is for million. So how we'll read it? 963,207,410, which we can see over here. We have 963,207,410. Okay. Here we have a chart which shows what is the relation between Indian and international place value system and how the digits used in both differ to its place value. Like we use lakh and crore in our Indian place value system and million and billion in our international place value system, but we can relate them using this chart. Now, Moving forward, we have the next topic which we have is comparing large numbers. So, as we have understood how to read and write numbers in both Indian and international place value system, now we need to understand how to compare them. Now, comparison depends upon if the two numbers which we want to compare have same number of digit or different number of digit. If they have different number of digit, it means the numbers with more digit will be the greater number, because it will acquire more pairs in the Indian or international place value system. But if the number of digits is same in two numbers that we want to compare, then in that case we need to just compare the numbers from left part one by one. And whenever we find a difference between the digit of the two numbers, we see which number is greater. So in that case, that number, the number with greater digit will be the greater number. Like, let's suppose if here we have the steps that I have already told you. Now let's suppose if you want to compare this number, which is ones, tens, 100, 1000, 10,000, lakh, 10 lakh, crore, 7 crore, 25 lakh, 6,903, and this is 63 crore, 14 lakh, 21,005. Now, in order to compare, we can see that the number of digit is more in this number. So it means this will be the greater number. But what will happen, like the question that we have or the example that we have over here, compare this 84 crore, 21 lakh, 76,590 with 89 crore, 10 lakh, 54,230. Now, in these numbers, we need to check each and every digit one by one from left. Like the first digit is 8 and 8. So it means neither is bigger as of now. Now the second digit is 4 and this is 9. So it means we get the bigger digit 9. It means the number 89 crore, 10 lakh, 54,213 will be the greater number. So this is how we compare two or more numbers. This can be used to compare more than two numbers also. Now, forming large numbers, the next topic that we need to understand. So in forming, what we do is we use digits to form numbers. Now, there are two different cases to form numbers. Sometimes the number that we use, that we need to form, like let's suppose if we have to form 8-digit number. So we'll be given with 8 digits that we need to use each and every digit. But sometimes the case differs. Like if we have to form the 8-digit number, but we are given with only 6 digits. So in that case, we need to repeat the digits. Now, if we want to form the greater number, we have to repeat the greater digit in the leftmost part. And if we want the smallest number using the digits that we have to repeat the smaller number. But there is one case, like let's suppose 0 is also one of the digits that we have to use. So in the smallest number, we can't use 0 at first place because it will not be a valid number. So first we use the second most smallest number, we can say, and then after that we can repeat 0. But in both cases, each digit should be used at least once. So let's suppose if you want to form a number where repetition is not allowed, it means the number of digits that we have and the number that we have to form will require the same number of digits. So in order to form the greater number, we have to start with the greatest digit that we have, and then we have to arrange them in descending order. And for the smallest one, we have to do the reverse. We have to put the smallest one first. If it is not a 0, if it is a 0, we have to put it at second place, and then we have to put it in ascending order. Sometimes the scenario asks for the greatest odd or even numbers. In that case, we can fix the place like greatest 8-digit number using the given digit. In that case, we need to utilize the digit in such a way that we can form the greatest 8-digit even number or odd number depending upon what we have been asked for. Like in this example 12, we have formed the greatest and smallest 8-digit number using the digit 45938 using each digit only once. So we can see that we have to form 8-digit number, and the digits that we are given with are also in 18 numbers. So we have to check, in order to form the greater number, we have to write 9 first, then 8, then 6, and so on in descending order. So the number will be we have ones, tens, 100, 1000, 10,000, lakh, 10 lakh, crore. 9 crore, 86 lakh, 54,320. So this will be the greatest 8-digit number using these digits. Now for the smallest number, we have to write the second smaller digit like 2 first, then 0, then 3, then 4, then 5, 6, 8, 9 in ascending order, and the number will be formed as 2 crore 3,45,689. Now sometimes odd and even are asked to be formed using the digits. So in that case we have to check that which digits can be utilized in the ones place, because that decides odd and even numbers. Okay. Now when the repetition is allowed, like when we say that repetition is allowed, it means the number of digit is less than what is required to form the number. In that case, as I have already told you, that in that case we need to repeat the greater digit in when we have to form the greater number, and we have to repeat the smaller digit when we have to form the smaller number. So greatest 9-digit number that we have formed in example 14. From the greatest 9-digit number and the smallest 10-digit number using the digit 17058639 at least once. So we have to form the 9-digit number and the smallest 10-digit number. Now let's see how many digits we are given with. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We are given with 8 digits only, but we have to form the greatest 9-digit number. So in that case, we have to repeat the greater digit once. So 9 will be repeated like this, and then we can use other in descending order. Now this is your part. You have to understood that how we can form the smallest 10-digit numbers, and the answer is also given, so you can verify them. Now rounding off numbers. So this topic is what we have already know from our grade 3, grade 4, grade 5, but just we have to apply in larger numbers. Rounding off means just estimating the numbers which is given to us to a certain place value. Like let's suppose if we are given with this amount. Now if you want to round off this number, we can round off this number to ones or to tens or thousands or 100 or lakh or 10 lakh depending upon the situation and requirement. So in that case we need to follow certain steps in order to round off. So in order to round off, we have to check to which place value we have to round off. Like let's suppose if we have to round off to 1000 place. So 1000 ones, tens, 100, 1000. 7 is at 1000 place. Now we have to lock the number at that place value, and we have to look for the next number that we have on it right. So on it right, if the number is greater than 5, then we need to increase the digit that we have locked by 1. So 7 will become 8, and the rest of the numbers after that locked digit will be 0. And if the digit is the number or the digit that is just to the right of the locked digit is less than 5, then in that case we need to keep the locked digit as it is, and we have to put zeros for other digits that we have following that locked digit. Okay, so when it is 5, it's just follow the round up, like means we have to increase the number. So let's understand how we can do this using an example. Round off this number, which is we have 8 crore 91 lakh 73,650 to the nearest 1000. Now we have to lock the digit at 1000 place. So 3 will be locked. Now we have to look for the digit at it right. So 6, which is greater than 5, so we have to increase the 3 to 4, and after this locked digit we have to put zeros. So the number will become 8 crore 91 lakh 74,000, because the 3 has been increased to 4, because the number at it right will be which is 6, so it will be increased to 4. Okay. Now using the rounding off concept, we can estimate budgets or different things based on the requirement. Like let's suppose if someone wants to decide the budget of a, let's suppose if a class has 2 sections and the class is going to a picnic, and then they want to estimate the total budget that is required to just go to the picnic, they can see that each class just require around 20,000 and other requires around 30,000 and the total will be 50,000. So this type of scenarios require estimation because exact answer is more time consuming. So let's see how can estimate numbers and we can find out the required result that we need without taking more time. So what is estimation? So estimation helps us to get a quick and close answer without doing exact calculations. It is useful in day-to-day life, budgeting, planning or checking whether our actual answer is reasonable or not. So estimating sum and differences. So in order to estimate sum and differences, there are certain rules which is not, we can say, fixed every time, because sometimes speed is the requirement and sometimes accuracy is the requirement. If we require speed, we can just round off the numbers that we have to the highest place value possible, and if we require the accuracy, we have to prefer the lower place value to round off the numbers. So step 1 is identify the smallest number in the given set. Now let's suppose if we have to add or we have to estimate the sum of two numbers. So we can see out of the two numbers which have less digit, or we can say which have smaller numbers. So if let's suppose one is 5-digit number and one is 7-digit number, we can round off both number to 5 digit, like which will be 10,000. Okay, so we can see that in case of requirement where we have 5-digit and 7-digit, we have to round off to the 5-digit number that we have. Okay, round off all numbers to that same place value. Add or subtract the rounded numbers. So both addition and subtraction have same type of process that we need to follow. Check your answer. For subtraction, if the estimate is 0, like let's suppose if the place value is or the number of digits of two numbers that we have is same, then in that case some scenario can have answer which can give us 0 as our estimated difference, because if the numbers are quite close to each other, then it can happen. So in that case, we need to round off to lower place value. So that's why I am just reminding again that these are not the strict rules that we need to follow. It just depends upon the situation that we have. Like if we need this accuracy, we need to choose the lower place values. Okay, but for solving questions in general, we need to follow these steps. Now estimate the sum of 40. We have 45 crore 63 lakh 90,244, and then we have 6 arab 78 crore 33 lakh 21,249. Now one has 9 digit and one has 10 digit. So in general, we need to round off each number up to 9 digit. So 45, we have 45 crore 63 lakh 90,244, which we can round off using this digit. We can lock the digit 4, and then we can see that 5 is the next number, so we'll have 50 crore. Okay, now for the second number, if we lock this 7, which is at the 10 crore place, which is at the 9-digit number that we have seen earlier, so it has 8 at its right place. So at it right, if we have 8, then we have to increase the 7 to 8. So it will be 6 arab 80 crore, and this we need to add in order to estimate the sum. So this 2 will be added and it will be 7 arab 30 crore. So this is how we estimate the sum or difference. Okay, estimating the product. So both are quite similar. There is certain change of rules that we need to see. Let's see what are the different steps that we need to follow in terms of estimating the product. So for each number which is in the multiplication part, identify its greatest place value. Like if 63 and 182 is given, round each number to the identified greatest place value. Like for 63, we'll have tens that we need to round off, and for 182 we have to round off to 100 place. Okay, multiply the non-zero leading digit of the rounded numbers. For this is a shortcut that how to multiply, so we don't have to look for 0, we have to just multiply the non-zero part. Count the total number of zeros in both rounded factor and append them to the product of the leading digit. This is the shortcut that we need to follow. Like let's suppose if we want to estimate the product of this number and this number, which is 68,345, and we have 7,21,800. So in this case it will be rounded off to 10,000. So it will be 70,000 and this will be 7 lakh, and their product, will find out the product of these two by multiplying 7 and 7, which will be 49, and will append these zeros at the right part of this 49. So it will be 49 Arab. It is forming 11 digit number. Okay. Now moving to the next part, which we have pattern using large numbers. So we know that numbers generally form various type of pattern, and this rule is also valid for large numbers also. Or numbers can be multiplied or added in a certain pattern to get a large number. Like there is a rule which says multiplication by powers of 10. So each time when you multiply a number by powers of 10, like 10, 100, 1000, 10,000, we can directly append zeros as number of zeros that we have in the powers of 10 to the number which will be the result of their product. Like 789 multiplied by 10 will be 7,890. 789 multiplied by 100 will be 78,900. Similarly, for each multiplication we have to append the number of zeros in the first part that we have, like this, like 789. So 789. So 789, and then we have to append 5 zeros to it. Now pattern number 2, multiplying by 9 or 99 or 999. In this case, there is a certain rule that we can follow directly to multiply the number using this or the second number. If we have second number like 9 or 99 or 999, we can follow a shortcut that we are given with. Like in order to multiply a number by 9, we can multiply by 9. Instead of that, what we can do, we can multiply the number by 10, which is easy to multiply, that we have already seen over here at the upper part. Now we can subtract the original number, because using the distributive property that we have, like if we have like let's suppose 9 times 81, then we can write it as 10 minus 1 multiplied with 81, or vice versa, like they are commutative. So it helps us to find the product of a number with 9 easily. Okay. Now this is applied for the other numbers also. Like for 99, we have to multiply with 100 and then we have to subtract the number. For 999, we have to multiply with 1000, then we have to subtract the original number. There is one more pattern that we are given with, pattern using product of numbers. So certain numbers follow palindromic pattern where we need to multiply two numbers and they have a fixed type of answer that we'll get. Like multiplying 11 with 11 will give us as 121. But if we add a 0 in the middle, which will have 101 and 101, so it will add zeros in the left part of 2 and in the right part of 2. If we add 2 zeros between 1 and 1 in both the factor that we have, then in the product also we can add 2 zeros. So similarly, we can find out other member of this pattern. Like for the next part, we can write 1, 2, 1 and we can append to 3 zeros here, 1, 2, 3 and 1, 2, 3. So this will be the next product. Similarly, we have pattern with 7, which you can go through it and understand how the pattern is getting formed. Now students, this is all from this chapter. I hope you have understood this chapter very well. We'll meet soon in the next chapter. Till then, keep learning, keep practicing.